Hey guys, Crystal here from Elite Hair Care USA. So my client here came in for a protein treatment and also some color on her salt and pepper hair. So you guys get ready. So we start off with our shampoos and conditioners. So for her hair, we're going to be using the Elite Herbal Detox Shampoo as her cleanser, Hydrastrength Shampoo as her treatment shampoo, but you can also use any one of our other Elite Hair Care brand shampoos for this part of the service. And then of course we'll be doing our Super Reconstruction treatment, which serves as the protein treatment, and that is a 2-part treatment, A and B. And then you'll also need a processing cap and a wide tooth comb. I get this question a lot when it comes onto the protein system and how to properly do a protein treatment, as well as possibly do a hair color in the same service. So I like to start off by cleaning the scalp and the hair using our Herbal Detox Cleansing Shampoo. This shampoo is a lightweight, clarifying/cleansing shampoo that does not strip the hair of its natural oils, but also works really well at cleaning the scalp and is infused with activated organic charcoal. I am using warm water for the shampoo process, which is extremely important. I don't recommend using cold water because cold water will actually lock in the debris versus helping to rinse it out. Now, I did do 2 of the Herbal Detox Cleansing Shampoos. Why? Because on the first shampoo, I could clearly tell she had a lot of product in her hair, and I wanted to make sure that the hair and scalp was clean and prepped for our shampoo service, which is our treatment shampoo, and also the Super Reconstruction treatment that we're going to move forward into, which is also known as the protein treatment. Now, when you're shampooing the hair, you want to make sure that you do thoroughly rinse each shampoo out. You do not want to leave any shampoo behind because that means you're possibly leaving behind dirt, debris in the actual hair. For the treatment shampoo, and what I call a treatment shampoo, that is your specialty shampoos like hydration, strengthening, thinning, color treated, those types of shampoos. I'm using our Hydrastrength Shampoo because she is natural, but she does have a fine texture of hair, and I did not want to weigh the hair down too much. The Hydrastrength Shampoo also has the Hydrastrength Conditioner, but in her case, we will not be using the conditioner for this service. The conditioner will serve as our protein treatment and also our replenishing conditioner when it is time to rehydrate the hair. A rule of thumb, whenever you're doing a protein treatment, is you want to start with moisture and end with moisture. Protein is something that is very tough on the hair. That is the purpose of it, is what we call the Band-Aid on a boo-boo. You want to make sure that the hair is actually rehydrated after your protein treatment. So now that the client has I've completed the shampoo process, we're going to go through and towel dry her hair and apply step 1 of the Elite Super Reconstruction treatment, which is our actual protein treatment. And I always start by putting that on the ends and mid shaft of the hair first and then working my way to the root. A good thing with our products is a little goes a long way, and with the protein treatment, you do not need to fully saturate the entire head. The purpose of the protein is to actually be attached to the follicle and not the scalp, okay? So you want to make sure you get it on the actual hair. Then you will sit under a hooded dryer without a processing cap for 15 to 20 minutes. The hair will get nice and hard. That is the purpose. It will get nice and hard. And then you will go back to the shampoo bowl and you will do exactly what I'm doing now, which is rinsing out the protein treatment thoroughly using warm to hot, not necessarily too hot water, but warm water to make sure you get all of the product out of the hair. Okay. So we have not used the processing cap yet. You will now use it in this step, where you would now be at step 2 of the actual protein treatment, where you'll be using our replenishing conditioner to rehydrate and soften the hair. And this is when we will use our wide tooth comb and our processing cap along with our hooded dryer. So I like to go through and detangle the hair lightly, and then I will put the processing cap on her head for her to go under a heated hood dryer for about 10 to 15 minutes, the maximum. You do not need to be under the dryer for too long. Once you are done, you will go ahead and rinse the hair thoroughly. And then you can move on to your styling or your color process, where in her case, we are going to move on to the color process, where we are going to be applying a demi-permanent color from root to ends on her hair. Now, here's some pro tips. Whenever you're applying color to your hair and you have gray or you have resistant hair type, like coarse textured hair, you do want to make sure that you thoroughly saturate those trouble areas. And I always like to start in the areas that I know give the most problem, which is typically the crown and the hairline. So what I'm doing is applying the color to her hairline first with full saturation, And then I'm going to go through and go section by section and apply it to the rest of the hair. The reason I do it this way is because I want to give those stubborn areas the maximum amount of time to process and to begin that process at the beginning versus me doing it at the end, and you run the risk of that hair not saturating enough, or not saturating that hair enough, or allowing enough time for the actual processing. Now, the color line that I'm using for this service is Pravana itself. I am possibly working on a color line right now, but that's in the making, so we'll talk about that soon. Now, when you're applying your color, you do want to make sure that you are saturating from root to end if you are doing a full color. And then, of course, if you're just doing a retouch color, you want to make sure that you thoroughly saturate the root area. I'm using my brush and bowl to apply color. I know some of you might be using semi-permanent colors where it has a bottle, but I can honestly tell you using a bowl and brush gives you the best saturation and full coverage versus you using it from the bottle onto the hair, because you run the risk of missing a section. Those bottles actually are not really made to part properly. So then what ends up happening is you get blind spots or areas that you didn't even saturate, and now your grays are showing through right at the beginning. So try to use a bowl and brush if you can. If not, do your absolute best going forward. Now with her actual color, if you notice, I am going to be going to the ends, but I did not go straight to the ends first. I did apply it to the root area, which is always the most resistant. And then at the end of the color service is when I went through and I saturated the ends completely and then pulled it through with my hands. You can also use a comb. I like to do it with my fingers, but a comb actually suffices as well. You just want to make sure that you're using a wide tooth comb. Now, as I said, this is a demi-permanent color, meaning deposit and a very, very, very minimal amount of lift. Very minimal. It is not going to actually change the client's hair texture, but if it was a permanent color, it possibly could. So keep in mind whenever you're doing a color service, I always stress, especially for something of this nature, that you consult a professional first if you don't know what you're doing or not certain how to do this. Now, I'm going to give you a pro tip in regards to gray coverage, especially for those of you that have those wiry gray hairs, because it's very popular. At the end of the color service, I will always go back and take the remaining product from my bowl, and I will make it nice and globby, and I will put a large amount of color on the hairline to smooth out those hairs that like to pop out of the color. Hair color is something like a spider. If the actual follicle isn't touching the color, guess what, guys? It is not going to be fully saturated. It is not going to color properly. So I like to go back to those stubborn areas and apply more color to really weigh that hair down. And then another pro tip that I always use when I'm dealing with my clients who have gray coarse textured hair or gray wiry style hair, or those stubborn grays, which is a better way of saying it, I'll take a piece of biodegradable plastic and I will put it around the hairline. I'm not using a processing cap because I do not want the hair to create any level of steam. I just want to actually help those hairs to lay down. So I'll take the plastic and literally lay it around the hairline so that those gray hairs can lay down in the color, and it will give ultimate saturation as the color is processing. And then she processes for about 20 to 35 minutes, depending on the color line that you are using. Now that the color service is done, we're going to go through and blow dry her and style her. And then, of course, once she's styled, you guys will get to be able to see the end result of the color service and also the style itself. So I'm going to leave you guys to see this part, and then I'll come back and we'll do a little bit more talking of what we did. So now we are at the curling process, and I did apply a little bit of our Elite Frizz Tamer and Shine Serum to her hair. That is going to serve as our heat protectant and also a lock luster. It's going to help add that shine to the hair, give it that brilliance. And then, of course, like I said, it is going to help protect it from any sort of heat or environmental damage throughout the styling process. Now, with the Frizz Tamer and Shine Serum, a very little goes a very long way. So you want to make sure that you are using it in the size of like pea drops or pea-sized drops before you go and try to oversaturate the hair and make the hair extremely heavy. Now, with the flat iron that I'm using, I am using the H2 Pro Titanium 1-inch flat iron. This is the Platinum Collection. But of course, you can use a ceramic iron if you are at home. I do not recommend using titanium irons at home because you will use them more often than you would if you were coming into the salon to see me. And that is the reason why I stress using more ceramic irons at home for more frequent use than using the titanium irons. Just a reminder, we do have other forms of heat protectant as well, which would be like our Goddess Polish. The Goddess Polish is a spray-on thermal styling tool that is also a thermal or heat protectant as well. And it is also a shine spray that is great for a finishing spray at the end of your style. So you can use either or in regards to your heat protection. I do not recommend adding excess oils to the hair when it's time for the styling process. All you're going to be doing is making the hair extremely heavy. So if it's not a heat protectant or some type of styling spray, such as a aerosol holding spray or something of that nature, I don't recommend using it at this point of the process. Now, in regards to products, let's talk a little bit about products. I am one of those people where I'm very simple. I'm a minimalist when it comes to product use on the hair for styling. I will more than likely use a heat protectant, a shine spray, and like a very mild holding spray such as Sebastian Shaper Plus. Other than that, I don't like to use a lot of other styling products on the hair. I feel like it's redundant. You're just adding more and more product and creating more and more buildup on the actual hair and the follicle, or the hair and scalp, should I say. And then when you're using a flat iron of this nature, you don't want to be burning in product into the hair. That's very important. The more product you put on the hair, the more the product is going to sizzle and possibly cause what we call even more damage, and can cause what we call heat damage as well. And then once I do my client's hair this way, I always stress wrapping your hair is very important. If you do not know how to wrap your hair, I would definitely say go and check out some YouTube videos. I have a couple, and there are other channels that also show you how to wrap your hair, but that's very important in the hair care process. Wrapping your hair allows that hair to really get a rest instead of you using heat every single day. If you wrap it and wrap it the right way, that hair will lay and life will be so simple for you. Now, for those of you who are looking to learn how to better take care of your hair, please look in the description box of this video and you will see the link for our Boss Babes and Beauty hair care seminar that we are having virtually, which is a live webinar on September the 6th, which is a Sunday, hosted by myself. And that is where we'll be talking about porosity, hair care, and everything that has to do with being a boss babe in regards to your hair and your business. So if you'd like to sign up, or should I say register for this event, please look in the description box and you will see the link. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new to my channel, and follow me on Instagram for more tips, tricks, and finished styles on my page. My Instagram is Elite Hair Care USA, just like my YouTube name. Now for the style, I kept it really nice and basic, just a little feathered looking wrap, and I used a wide tooth rat tail comb. You want the hair to have nice movement, and look at that color. Okay, let's bring life to the color, you guys. She looks like she has a highlight and no light.